Alright, so I basically started following the Hoodoo type religion. Um, reason being, um, I do like the idea of folk magic, and I've really had some success in creating some things, and they've really worked for me. Um, and that's kind of the way I am. I like to see the results of what I'm doing. Um, prayer is answered sometimes, but I think you have to take the extra step, and I don't exactly know how it works, but I know that you know sometimes you have to bind the actual spirit that you're working with in some form or another. Um, and I'm going to be talking today a little bit about the Hoodoo type sugar jars. Now, basically, you can use any type of sweetener for this kind of spell. And, I mean, the options are basically unlimited. Um, you can use honey, you can use molasses, you can use syrup, jelly, anything really. Um, the only thing you want to make sure of is whenever you're doing a container spell that the top of your bottle has a metal lid. Okay? You don't want like a plastic or bamboo or any other type of lid, because you are going to be burning candles on top of this. See, I burnt a red candle on top of this jar. Now, I'm going to be walking you through basically how to create and put together a basic sweetener jar. And the whole intent of the sweetening type jar is to sweeten someone to you, or it's good intentions um, for you, um, and to cause somebody to like you more, or to love you, or to stay with you, or whatever that may be. Um, and you can also use, I've been reading, you can use these types of spells to attract money as well. Now, I chose to use sugars. So the very first step that you want to do is you need to get like a ball jar. Okay, it doesn't have to be ball, but I got a couple of these mason jars from Walmart. So, and ball is pretty popular. I mean, it's been used for canning for a very long time. Mason jar. And what you want to do is, the very first step is you want to fill this jar up with your sweetener, whether it be honey, sugar, molasses, whatever you have. I use sugar because it's cheaper. Definitely cheaper than honey. Honey is something like, I mean, to fill up even this small jar with honey, it would probably cost me $10 or $15. And some people argue that honey works better, but if I would use honey, I would definitely use a smaller jar. Okay? So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to write your petition paper. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to go grab something here. what is this? Well, this is a paper from a brown paper bag. Okay, and this is used commonly in the Hoodoo tradition um, to basically write your petition on. Um, Now, I'll go ahead and write a sample petition for you so you can see exactly what I mean. Okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to tear this into like a square. Okay? A 3 by 3 square is ideal. And in Hoodoo, you'll learn that basically, can't rip that. Basically, any uneven number is a good number. Okay? It's just, it's not unlucky. It's allowing that additional, you want to put uneven amounts of things together because the other part of it is going to be the actual spirit. Okay? So what you're going to do is, okay, so let's say, for example, my name is John Doe. Okay? So I'm going to write John Doe. Three times on this paper, like this. Okay? Doesn't matter which way you turn it, whatever. Just write it all in the same direction. John Doe. Okay? Next part is you're going to turn the paper this way, okay? And then you're going to write your name. Well, not your name. John Doe is my name, so I'm going to write. Actually, I messed up. Okay? The first name that you put on this paper is the person that you want to sweeten up to you. Okay? So I want John Doe to sweeten up to me. Let's say John Doe is my boss, okay? And we're having all these problems and stuff, and he doesn't like me, we're not getting along, and I want to change that, okay? So John is my boss. And then I'm going to write my name. I'm going to, it's called covering the name, okay? You want to cover the name with your name, okay? So let's say I am Mark Appleseed. Okay. See what I did there? I took, see, my name's John Doe is written on here in this direction, okay? And Mark Appleseed is written in this direction, okay? So, the name is successfully covered, okay? So now what you need to do is you need to come up with some thrifty words to put around this, okay? And let's say I want my boss to like me and appreciate me and etc. So I'll write probably like, appreciate, I could just write appreciate me, or, I'm horrible at coming up with these things. I usually read them online. Okay, so I'll write that. Now, whenever I write this, okay, I'm going to be writing it in a complete circle surrounding the entire. I'm not going to intersect or anything. I'm going to be writing it around here. Appreciate me, appreciate me, appreciate me, until I get a complete circle, okay? And a very important thing when you're writing this, okay, is that you do not lift your pen. You do not want to lift your pen off the paper. Okay? Now, I know I have a T in appreciate, okay? I'm not going to lift my pen off my paper and cross that T. I'm just going to keep on writing, okay? It's a little bit sloppy, okay? But that's the way that you do it, okay? You don't want to break that circle by lifting up your pen. If you do happen to accidentally, which it's so easy to do, okay? Because everyone's used to just like writing and stuff and writing neatly. Um, so you lift your pen off the paper and cross your T, and then you're like, oh, crap, you know? And then you got to dispose of this and start all over again by writing your name and your boss's name and or whoever you're trying to sweeten up to you. Okay? So I'm going to write appreciate me on here in a circle, okay? And you're just going to keep on writing. Like I said, you do not want to lift your pen up. You can go back after you completely write your circle, okay? And, you know, cross your T's, dot your I's, whatever you need to do to make it neat. But I'm actually able to cross and things like that without lifting my pen. So I'll show you how it goes here. You can also instead of and again, when I'm rotating my paper, I am not lifting my pen. I leave my pen on the paper and I rotate it, okay, in order to get that full circle. Okay, and here it is, okay. It looks, this is called a petition paper, okay. Your name and your boss's name is here, okay, and then around here is what you want, you know, around in the circle, that is your petition, okay, and that's the goal of this petition paper, okay, and the reason you write your boss's name and your name in here is because you want it to work on him or her, and you want them to sweeten up to you. So you put your name on here um, because that's who it's going to impact, okay? So once you're done with that, okay, you want to put specific herbs and curios in this, or on top of this petition paper, okay? And it's extremely helpful if you have hair, okay? And I've actually found that some people shed hair a lot. It's easy to acquire their hair, okay? Um, Especially if you work in the same office as them, and let's say, for example, they come into your office, okay, and sit and talk to you, and meanwhile they're playing with their hair. Well, if you look on the chair after they left, you might be able to find a hair. Now, without even stepping foot into your boss's office, rooting around for his hair inside his keyboard or whatever. Because you want to do this carefully, and you don't want to, you know, invade somebody's privacy or answer any questions as to why are you actually in your boss's office, and it's probably not a good thing to do. So, you know, in my case, you know, the another thing is if the said person is in your car, never. Well, Your car seats, you know, they're leather car seats or whatever. But if you have cloth car seats, they actually the hairs will stick to the seat. Now that's if you don't vacuum your car, which you have to know what you're doing. You know, and you have to think ahead as to how you can acquire. Okay, and so what you want to do is you want to get one of your hairs, which that's pretty simple, right? You get a head full of it, and then you want to get one of your boss's hairs or whoever you're trying to sweeten up to. Now this could be to like a girlfriend or whatever that you're, you know, potential girlfriend you're interested in or whatever. But you need to get the hairs, okay? And that's extremely important. If you can't get the hair, then you can't get the hair. I mean, what can you do? Um, it's not going to be as powerful or as effective without the hair, but it still might help you. Okay, so it's not like you can't do it without it, but I'm just saying it's definitely better and more powerful with hair. Next thing you want to do is you want to get your herbs, curios, whatever it is that's specific to your spell. Now, I don't exactly know what will, you know, cause your boss to be sweeter to you. But let's see here. I'm on luckymojo.com. Okay. And there may be herbs specific to your cause. Okay. So, like, I know that when it comes to, like, love and love spells, um, there are a ton of love herbs out there: rose petals, Adam and Eve root, lavender, you know, etc. The list goes on and on and on. You can find all of these spiritual supplies at luckymojo.com or conjuredoctor.com. I've also purchased a lot of stuff from eBay, and research really shows you that some of the stuff you can actually buy in a store, like cayenne pepper, whatever. Cayenne pepper is probably not recommended for this because it actually causes inflammation. So you don't want to cause inflammation whenever, especially whenever you're trying to draw in love or fix your boss. Okay. So, anyways, let's say, for example, that I don't know if this is true or not, but let's say that a lodestone is good for something like this. Okay, so what you do is you're gonna put, you know, your lodestone in here. Now, on top of that or underneath that lodestone is going to be one of your hairs and one of your boss's hairs. You can cross them, you can tie them together, whatever. Okay, but I actually, depending on the size of the hair, you may not be able to tie them together, which is fine. Um, but you want to put all this stuff on top of your paper, okay, with, you know, on top of where you wrote, okay? And then whenever you're done, you want to take your paper, and so you want to fold your paper, okay? Fold your herbs and your curios, lodestones, whatever you're using, and fold it towards you, okay? Because you want this to work towards you, okay? You don't want it to go away. And then you just keep on folding until you can't fold anymore, which I've read somewhere where you can't fold a piece of paper more than 7 times. But in this case, looks like I'm only getting about 4 or 5. Okay? So once it's all folded up, which you can't get it this small once you pack it up with herbs and curios and stuff. So go a little bit light on the stuff you put on in here. Make sure it's not overfilled or whatever. you got to know that you can. You got to fold it. Okay. So once you've done that, now you want to go to your jar. Okay, your jar is full of sugar or honey or whatever. Now this is very important. Whenever you fill your jar up, you're going to fill it up to the very top. Okay. This is before you do your petition and everything else. You just fill your jar up to the complete top with sweetener. Okay. And you want to grab yourself a spoon. And whenever you take your jar, you're gonna need to eat some of the sugar or the honey or whatever in your jar, so you can fit your petition paper in there. Okay. So whenever you want to take your spoon, okay, to make room for your paper, you just want to like get a spoonful of this honey, sugar, whatever, sweetener, and this might change what you use because molasses is pretty gross, especially when it's just straight molasses and there's nothing, you know, there's nothing with it. But anyway, you want to take your spoonful out and you want to eat it, and as you're eating the sugar or sweetener, you want to say out loud, as this sugar is sweet, as will John Doe become sweet to me. Okay? So you want to say that out loud. And that's your prayer, that's your petition. Okay? And then you're gonna do that 2 more times. So you're gonna do it a total of 3 times. Okay? So make sure that whenever you get your spoons, make sure that you're getting enough sweetener on your spoon. I had to eat like 3 big heapfuls of the sugar in order to get my petition paper in there, because I had a bunch of herbs and stuff, and I'm folding it and stuff. And every time you take a spoonful of that, you're gonna say that same thing: as this sugar is sweet, or honey, or whatever, as will John Doe become sweet to me. Okay. Once you've done that, you take your petition paper with your herbs, curios inside of it, okay? And you're going to stuff your petition paper down into your sweetener, okay? At that point, you can close your jar up and make sure you close it tight, because while there are rare cases whenever you need to reopen your jar and add something to it, you want to keep this thing closed. Okay, you do not want to open up your jar, because once you open up the jar, it is no longer binding. Okay, you've released the spirit. Okay, you will open the jar whenever you're done. Whenever the spell is done and you want to release, just open up your jar. And for sweetener jars, it's recommended that you empty the contents into moving water. Okay. River, whatever, other ones, you can bury them under your doorstep, under your lover's doorstep. I mean, there's 1,000 different options depending on what you're using this for, but I'd recommend doing research. Okay, so now this is the fun part. Okay, this candle, I think, is a 6-inch candle. It's huge. Okay. It probably takes this candle 6 hours to burn completely down. You don't want this candle. But this is all I have, so this is what I use. Okay? And what you're going to do is you're going to take a pen or a needle or whatever you have. You're going to carve into this candle your name, your boss's name, and I put some words on there like, appreciate and, or leave me alone or something like that, okay? And then once you've done that, okay, once you've wrote on it, you're inscribed on your candle, you're going to take some of this. This is special oil number 20, okay? And you can buy this online. This oil is an all-purpose candle dressing oil, okay? It's basically for any purpose at all. Optionally, they do have something out there called Boss Fix oil. You could take the Boss Fix oil and dress your candle with it. You're just going to take, some of the oil, put it on your finger, and just, dress it towards you. If it's something that you want to happen to you, you dress it towards you. So, like, you're going to take a couple, you're just going to take your finger, open up the jar, put your finger over top the opening, swig the bottle back. You got some oil on your finger, and you're just going to spread it on your candle, okay? Three times or something like that for the drops, and that's called dressing your candle, okay? And it's commonly done in Hoodoo tradition. So once you dress your candle, you're going to light your candle, okay? And when you light it, you're going to want to stick it on top of the jar. Now, as you can see, it's a little unstable, right? So what you're going to do is you're going to light your candle up, okay? When you light your candle, you're going to turn your candle this way. You're going to let the wax drip down on top of the jar, okay? And I use, maybe 20 or 30 drops, because look at the size of the bottom of that candle, okay? I know some people also melt the bottom of the candle. They'll take a lighter and they'll melt the bottom of the candle, make it soft wax, and then just take the candle and stick it down on top of it, okay? But I like the wax dripping method, so that, once you get enough wax on there, it doesn't completely dry. It doesn't dry very fast, okay? And then you can stick your candle on there. And you're going to want to leave this candle burn the whole way down, okay? You don't want to put this out. And as you can see, I still have the wax on my top of my jar. You do not want to clean this wax off either, okay? You're going to leave this wax here. Don't clean it off. And it's recommended that you burn a candle on top of your jar for 7 days to begin with. And as you burn your candle, state your intentions and, pray and say, this is what I want, and things like that. So, yeah, and I've actually seen results. I think I put the sugar in here, okay, and I wrote my petition paper, and I saw results within maybe 3 or 4 hours. I noticed a change, okay? It's crazy how fast this stuff can work. And, there are people out there that don't believe in it. They may think it's evil. But it works for me. And that's what's important to me anyways, because sometimes we need to do some extra work in order to get things going in our life in the direction that we want. And the sweetening type jar is a very, in my mind, I think it's a harmless spell, okay? It's harmless. It's just a sweetener spell. It's sweetening up somebody to you. Now, they have every power and every right in the world to say, no, I'm not sweetening up to this person, okay? And that's called free will, which God gave us free will, so for a good reason, So, yeah, that's basically the sweetener spell, bottle spell, if you will. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment down below. I can answer anything. So, yeah. Thanks for watching.